Alumni. So what do we got going on this weekend? Maybe something going on in Fargo this weekend.
Oh, just a Bison football game. Nothing big.
Yeah, just a quarterfinal playoff football game going on.
Just a little playoff game. Nobody really pays attention to those, right?
Yeah, so the Bison looking pretty good this year. They're going up against Wolford, and you said they're of North Carolina or South Carolina?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. So, what do you thinking? What do you think those folks are thinking right now when they're coming up to Fargo?
I think they should bring their winter coats because it's going to be cold,
Yeah.
especially once the Bison get done stomping them.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. Yep.
There you go.
All right. All right, sounds good. So, all right, well, we got to kick things off here. We got some interesting topics to talk about this morning. We got to talk about Christmas trees. And Katie, you're going to go into depth of more about what you do here in Foster County with being the watershed coordinator. So, Dion, did you want to kick things off and talk about the about Christmas trees and stuff?
Yeah, I got some information from the North Dakota Forest Service, and they'd like you to really think about getting a live Christmas tree. For one thing, the trees are grown here in America, whereas the artificial ones generally come over from China or someplace overseas. So it's good for the economy, and also they can be good for our environment as well. So first thing, just for the folks buying a tree, a couple of suggestions. If the trees have brown needles in the middle, don't worry about it. That's normal. But the outside needles should be green and flexible and not come off the branch when you run them through your fingers. And when you get your tree, you want to cut off at least a 1/4 inch on the bottom of the trunk so it can take up water. And they suggest a tree stand that'll hold at least 1 gallon of water and that you water it every day, because depending on your tree, it might take anywhere from 2 pints to a full gallon of water every day. And a couple of suggestions for after you're done with the tree. I checked, and the city of Carrington will be taking Christmas trees in those cement bunkers over by the city shop where they take leaves during the summer. They just ask that you take any bags off them when you drop them off. But there are some possibilities for what you can do with the tree yourself if you want to. If you're feeling creative, you can cut the branches off and use them to make wreaths or garlands to decorate your place for the rest of the winter. Or if you have access to a wood chipper, you can chip them up yourself to use for mulch or composting. Some other suggestions that turned up online are that if you have the room, you can set your tree out as a shelter for wildlife and maybe hang some fruit or other food for the birds on it. If you have a place where you've got erosion on a shoreline, on a lake or a creek, you can set that in there to try and slow the erosion down. And another thing to keep in mind is if you've got a nice straight tree, then you've got a nice straight trunk that you could use for a pole or something in your yard. Now, there are also people that get little trees with the roots in a bundle, and then they just go ahead and plant it after Christmas, so that's another option. Which leads me into the other thing that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, North Dakota Forest Service is promoting the live trees, and they're also wanting to promote people growing the live trees. Right now, there are only a few Christmas tree farms in North Dakota, depending on what you're looking at, 8 to 14. And they grow only about 8% of the live Christmas trees that are sold in our state. What they're suggesting at the Forest Service is that this is a way to diversify your farms, especially if you've got some land that's kind of marginal for what else you'd like to do with it. So they do have information available to anybody interested, but they're saying that, excuse me, it generally takes anywhere from 7 to 12 years to get them to a marketable size. So the other thing is that it's not just a plant it and come back. You do have to take care of them, keep them weeded, and do some shaping so that in the end you have a nice looking tree that people are actually going to want to buy.
Now, do you have to, I never even thought about this, actually growing your own Christmas trees, for you, farmers, landowners out there. Do you have to be registered with the Forest Service, or can you just start growing, or how does that work?
As far as I know, you can just start growing them. It's up to you how you want to market them. They apparently do them both as, marketing them for sale, cut them and take them in, or do a U-cut operation. What the Forest Service has basically is brochures and tip sheets for giving you ideas of how to plant them, how to take care of them, how to market them.
Okay. And then you can probably get the trees from them too. You can buy the little seedlings and stuff or whatever.
They help you out. We could try. with this, because it's something that you're planting to harvest, it probably isn't available for any programs, but we can always offer technical assistance. And the one thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing this is that you're going to want to plant the trees that are going to grow well on the site. So that's where the district would be able to help you out.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Grow your own Christmas trees, then you can market them and sell them, and that's kind of a cool idea.
And the reason we'd be interested in this is because, while the trees are out there growing, they're also providing other services, sequestering carbon, controlling soil erosion, wildlife habitat, just about any other benefit you could get from a shelter belt, you could also do while growing these live Christmas trees.
All right, sounds good. Now, I got to talk about, I heard something that if you put sugar in the water of your Christmas tree, it'll help. Is that myth, or is that actually...
I think that's pretty much a myth. From what I understand, the best way to go is usually plain water.
Okay, just water.
Yeah.
Don't add anything extra.
They say that putting a penny in a flower vase when you have fresh cut flowers helps the flowers last longer.
Really?
So maybe if you put pennies in with your Christmas tree.
It's worth a shot. Why not?
Well, I don't think that would hurt. I'm not sure it would help, but I don't think it would hurt.
Yeah, I got to try that when I get. We got an artificial, but yeah, I want to get a real one. I've always got real ones in the past, so I got to try the penny tree. Do that. All right. All right, sounds good. Anything else, Dion, that we want to add about the Christmas trees?
Well, just like I said, if you're interested in that or any other kind of tree, we're there to offer the technical assistance and help you out however we can.
Okay, now we got Katie. Katie, we're going to talk a little bit more about watersheds. So I guess you want to explain watershed and what it is and go in more in depth in that.
Yeah, I thought I'd just kind of give people an idea of what a watershed is and kind of what I'm going to do here in Foster County. But first of all, I'd like to let everybody know that we are working on a brand new website that will be live hopefully within the next couple of weeks. So you'll have to check us out on the web. Our website address will be www.fosterscd.org. Make sure you check us out. And also, speaking of checking us out, we are new on Facebook. So,
wow.
Yes, we are moving into the 21st century?
Yes.
So make sure you go on Facebook and give us a like. That way you'll be able to find out what's going on with us besides just hearing us on the radio once a month. So, also on the website, our tree order form will be available, our newsletters, all of our products and services that we offer, just general information about the district so that you can learn more about what we do here and how we can help you. So I get asked a lot what a watershed coordinator is, and I guess my main focus here in Foster County is the Kelly Creek watershed. I'm here to help producers and landowners mitigate the effects that they have on the Kelly Creek watershed. The watershed encompasses 187 square miles, which is almost all of Foster County, a little bit of Eddy, and a little bit of Wells counties. And I also get asked a lot, what is a watershed? Well, simply stated, a watershed is an area of land that drains to a common point, usually a stream, river, lake, or wetland. So pretty much anywhere where water gathers is a watershed. So no matter where you live in a watershed, and you're having an effect on one. There is no set size limit for a watershed. They can be big, they can be little, they can be anywhere from a few acres to many, many miles. So the small watersheds make up larger watersheds, which is why the Kelly Creek is so big. And like I said, it's here in Foster County, Wells County, and Eddy counties. The Foster Soil Conservation District actually got an EPA grant to fund this watershed project that we're doing. And the main focus of the project is to reduce the impacts of non-point source pollution. Non-point source pollution is pretty hard to pinpoint because it has so many different sources. Unlike its counterpart, point source pollution, where the cause of the pollution is very easy to identify. It's really hard to tell exactly what's causing the pollution in non-point source pollution. So every day, no matter what we're doing, we are contributing to non-point source pollution. It is the leading cause of water quality problems here in North Dakota and in all the states in the U.S. So it can be caused by a variety of contaminants, sediments, excess nutrients, And those are delivered to surface waters by way of runoff, or it can be leached downward into the groundwater too. So it's not just surface waters that we have to be concerned about. It's also the groundwater. Some common sources of non-point source pollution are urban streets and parking lots where the water just runs off. It can't soak into those impermeable surfaces, so it runs off. Construction sites, agricultural lands, and the byproducts of our activities can degrade nearby waters when we're not careful. So we need to make sure that we're being careful about excess nutrients because those create algae and weed growth. Sediments carry nutrients and cloud the water, making the water less pleasant for fishing or swimming or whatever you want to do in a lake or a stream. And it can also harm fish populations and plant life in the lakes and streams. There are many ways to reduce non-point source pollution, which is kind of why I'm here, is to help people figure out how they can reduce the effects that they're having. And just because I come into your yard doesn't mean that I think that you're doing a bad job or that you're in trouble or any of that.
If you see Katie in your yard, it's okay.
Exactly. I'm just there to help you take a look at what you're doing and tweak it just a little bit, because those little tweaks will add up to a large amount of watershed change. And the small amount of pollution that we have in the Kelly Creek will eventually go away because everybody will realize what they're doing, and we can help them just figure out what they're doing to make it a little bit better. And ways producers can reduce non-point pollution is by using conservation tillage, practicing a crop rotation, planting filter strips around their feedlots, practicing sound pesticide and fertilizer use, recycling the containers that their chemicals come in. And most of the practices that I just named are actually cost shareable through the Kelly Creek Watershed Project. So if you are looking to get into any of those things I have a lot more practices that I can cost share too. So look at what you're doing, think about it, and then come give me a call, and I can probably help you figure out a way to get it paid for. And there's also ways that non-producers can reduce non-point pollution. By mulching your gardens and exposed soil, just covering it up so that the water has something to flow through before it gets into the ground, so it doesn't just go right into the groundwater. Directing runoff to areas where it'll soak into the soil, minimizing pavement and impermeable surfaces, and maintaining your septic systems will all help reduce non-point source pollution. So,
yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty important because, we got polluted, the watershed polluted, it might pollute the groundwater. It can do all sorts of stuff. So, just do those practices to, keep the water clean.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's what we're here for, is to help people figure out what they can do to make it better. So.
All right, sounds good. And Katie, why don't you give your information again? You're mostly in Carrington here, but you are in Foster or Eddy County, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I spend most of my time in the Carrington office right here. The USDA Service Center is located right across from Lake Elko.
Okay.
Over on Highway 200. So I'm there Wednesdays and Thursdays all day, 8 to 4:30. But I'm always available through the phone. Give me a call. We can set up a time to meet. I'm more than happy to go out to farms or to people's houses, or they can come into the office too. Whatever works best for them.
So if they have, if they see something, because, farmers and ranchers, they're the eyes. So if they see something, definitely give you a call.
Definitely.
Okay. And then your website again?
www.fosterscd.org.
All right, sounds good. Anything else you want to add this morning, Katie?
Make sure you go like us on Facebook. I want to see a bunch of fans by the end of the day.
So log into your Facebook account, and what do we search for to get you on the webpage?
The Foster SCD.
Foster SCD. All right, sounds good. Well, thanks so much, Katie Gushis, joining us this morning. Let's see. And Dion, what do you want to recap on Christmas trees again? Or what else?
I just have a couple announcements.
Okay.
Folks are aware that we try to do Women's Egg Day every 2 years. That's basically a meal and a presentation or some kind of entertainment for the ladies, just to express our appreciation of what women do for agriculture around here and what their involvement in it. And we are getting ready to do another one next year, and we have the committee working on that. But if there's anybody out there who's interested in being on the Women's Egg Day Committee and helping us plan this and put it together, please give me a call. We can always use fresh ideas and new hands. So our number at the office is 652-2551, and give me a call on that. And of course, it's still possible to order trees. If anybody needs trees for next spring, also give me a call on that.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks so much, ladies, and we'll see you again on Wednesday. Next Wednesday in January next year, actually. So we'll
Yes.
see you next year. Thanks so much for joining us. That's Dion Schaff. She's the district manager for the Soil Conservation District. And also joining us this morning, Katie Gushison. She is the watershed coordinator for the Foster County Soil Conservation District. So we'll take a quick break. We got Dakota Sports Network coming.